Thank you, Mr. President. I commend Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu, and I urge my colleagues, seeing these two elements that have accompanied all the nominations that have come today, that we allow Bianca to bow and go. I so submit.
Well, distinguished colleagues, I know that Senator Abaribe is worried about what happens to APGA after this. So, and I saw him moving from seat to seat, asking people why. So, I decided that he should say something. But I want to thank you for commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for going across party lines to seek for the best of the best to save our country. And most especially, making the job of screening and confirmation easy, and even easier by attaching portfolios to the would-be ministers. Unprecedented. Now you can ask questions directly, relating directly to the portfolio of the minister. And like you said, no other president has ever done it. And no other person would have done it except President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, having been a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His wife has been a senator, and he has known the yearnings of the Senate. So we commend him seriously for attaching portfolios to these nominees. And we pray that future presidents will follow suit so it will be easy for the Senate to do its work. My dear sister, I haven't heard any negative comment from the floor, but I'd like to ask you a question. You've had an experience as an ambassador. Very recently, I sent a delegation to Chad, and they came back and said that the Nigerian embassy in Chad, the building is in very deplorable condition. And I was in Ghana last week, and the same complaint. They have a land that they would like to build their embassy structure on, and many other places, Kenya, everywhere. People are complaining that the structures hosting the embassies are in terrible conditions. If you are confirmed by this Senate to go into that ministry, will you focus on trying to rehabilitate, to give Nigeria a better image in terms of the structures of the various embassies worldwide? After that, you can take a bow.
Thank you very much, Senate President. In this respect, distinguished senators, I would like to say that my past records speak for me. As ambassador to the Kingdom of Spain, I spent an entire year in one hotel room because when I got to Spain, the mission building was in such an appalling condition. Together with very dedicated officers, we conducted massive renovation works, not just of the mission building itself, giving Nigeria an edifice truly deserving of a nation of its standing. The Nigerian embassy in Madrid that you see today is a product of my tenure in that country. And what was particularly sad about the previous state of the building was that it was very, very close to the Estadio Bernabeu, which is the home of Real Madrid Football Club. So it was such an eyesore that people who were going to the stadium for the various matches would pass their embassy building in its decadent state. But today, the Nigerian embassy in Spain is a magnificent building. Not only that, the residence of the ambassador was also given a facelift, and other buildings belonging to our country within that kingdom. It is true that in most missions, because of the poor funding, most ambassadors are constrained when it comes to carrying out refurbishment.
Thank you, Jerry, madam. You know, she was an ambassador to Spain for, I think, for 2.5 years or thereabout. Out of that, she lived in an hotel for a whole year because the ambassador's residence in Spain was like probably non-existent at the time. Well, she is a minister now, to be sworn in the next few days. There's another one. That one is going to be the Minister for Disaster, Poverty, Encouragement, and Trader Money, kind of. The one that is replacing Beta Edu is a man. But every time I remember Bianca, I don't know, I just kind of like, she was like this boss lady. You remember when the drunk Ebere went to go and touch Bianca? That time that Obino's wife, that's her name, Ebere. They said Ebere was drunk and she felt like Bianca has this larger than life personality. Everybody's just always like, yes, ma, yes, ma, yes. So she didn't like that. Okay. So they're having an occasion in Anambra. And Ebere, who was, I'm not sure if she's drunk, but people said she was drunk. If not, she won't behave that way, so to say. So she just stood up and went on, you this woman. And then the next thing, this Bianca stood up like, what? I feel worse. Every time I heard Bianca, that's all I remember about her.
Hey!
You are a bitch.
A bitch. It was a big headline around that time. If you remember, know me, I like to dig as well. Now meet the incoming Minister for Poverty, Encouragement, Humanitarian Disaster, and other titles. I don't know the rest. His own screening.
It is not the practice of the parents for you to do your asset declaration to us. You should just bring us acknowledgement copy only. Your asset declaration is between you and the code of conduct. So I'll be returning this to you. You can have it. And I hope you go ahead. Sergeant has withdraw all his asset declaration, which means you don't have the acknowledgement copy, do you? It's not here.
Last page.
Yes. This is all we need. We don't need your asset declaration form. We need only the acknowledgement. So they're along. So always educate them on your loyalty is not a doubt. Noted by the chair. Now, Doctor, welcome to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. feel free to have interaction with your leaders, and but start by giving us a brief summary of yourself. And now that we even have an idea of where you are going to be posted to, you will definitely answer a few questions from the civil senators on what you are bringing to the table based on your wealth of academic experience. So you have a few minutes.
The President of the Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly, His Excellency, Senator Dr. Abadia, D.C. Oil, the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency, Senator Barrow, CFR, the other officers of the Senate, the distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me recognize the specific by senators. Senator Simon Bakolaro, representing the Plateau South, my own senator from the Central Group, Senator Ketland, who just my senator role, was my head boy in secondary school. And then the senator representing the Northern Zone, Senator Simon Watford. Thank you, distinguished senators, for giving me for this opportunity for making calamity. I give a bit about myself. I'm a son of the clergy. I was born to late Toma Iwala in a community village called Ngong in Kanke local government of Plateau State. Because of father profession, we travel across many states. We live in Bauchi State. I spent some time in Yobe and Borno State with my father. So I traveled across different states, but tied school in Plateau State Primary 6. Secondary school in Boys to Gambri, my university in Macaulay, first degree. The university retired me as a lecturer in the university after graduation because I was about the best students. So I was retained by the university as a lecturer. My master's PhD in Bauchi, my PhD at Suka. University of Nigeria. The university retained me as a lecturer in my 20s, but I had the opportunity of becoming a director in my early 30s in the university. And
or talk as well. Like that. Then it was time for them to ask questions. Again, let's jump to that.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. It is my privilege and honor to take the first shot at our nominee from Plateau State. Mr. President, if you look at the resume and the pronouncement of the gentleman that is standing before you, I've known him, I've come across him in very many ways, both in academic and in politics. But I do know that in Benue State where he served, first set of the best persons that were elected in the new dispensation was local government chairman, and I was one of them. And I can attest to the credibility, the transparency with which he carried out that assignment. And so I can attest to the fact that in Benue State, where he served as the electoral commissioner, we held him in very high esteem because he was very, very independent. Again, Mr. President, when I was appointed chairman of the governing council of the University of Agriculture, pro-chancellor, I came across the young man again. And again, outstandingly, like he said, at a very small age, he became the director and developed one of the digital solutions that we had in the university at that time. And because of my nature, I had some issues with very conservative elements in the university. But he proved one of the very pragmatic and very progressive elements in that university. And so I'm actually not surprised that he has been appointed today to become the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you.
I want my colleagues, based on his antecedents, to spend him the time so that he can go and settle down and hit the ground running.
So, in other words, you have no question for him. Senator Along. Senator Along. Yes. Ababolo has no question. You have any question for him?
Mr. President, my name is Samuel Malong, representing the good people of Plateau South. Mr. President, honestly, I felt very honored and indebted to this Senate, especially to Mr. President, and also the comment by my leader from the North Central, Abamoro. This is a candidate that was also recommended as a rep of Benue State. After that, voluntarily resigned and became the candidate who would have been the governor of Plateau State by now. But today, before the Senate, I recall that Mr. President did a level of effort when I left to the Senate and the vehicle, and you also helped in persuading Mr. President to get a nomination for Plateau State. And this nomination again is no other person than the candidate that is here with his resume that is displayed. My own is on behalf of the good people of Plateau State. I don't want to stop because the cat will want to speak. And that should also want to make a comment. That the three of us, unanimously agree that this is the best time, the best candidate for this best people to be the minister to represent the good people of Plateau State. So we thank Mr. President and all the distinguished senators that will give him accelerated approval to immediately move him to help Mr. President in that very, I would say, good and also military. The one humanitarian requires a lot of intelligence, requires a lot of industry. So I thank you, Mr. President, for this great opportunity and then the solidarity.
It's okay. You can sit down. So, in other words, you have no question for the nominee. But all you... No, let...
So at the end of the day, they were all cleared. And they will be sworn in as ministers. It was just like a ritual sort of coronation of a thing. It's not a screening per se. So let's leave them to it. Last week, the news was that Mr. Lagbaja, I've been a chief of army staff, Lagbaja was very sick. And he was flown out of Nigeria for medical treatment. Then the Nigerian army countered that by saying, no, Lagbaja is fine, very well. There's nothing wrong with him. He only went on a vacation. That's what they said. They said he went on a vacation. And I did say it that there's nothing wrong in one being unwell. Here you get. We are all humans. We can fall sick. It's human to be sick, to be unwell, and then get well. And if you have to leave the job to go and take care of yourself, there's nothing wrong in that. But the report back then was that Lagbaja is dead, or was dead. But there's no proof. Well, there wasn't proof that Lagbaja was dead. There's also no proof that he's alive. But there were other things going on behind the scene. Stuff like other senior military officers fighting to replace him or to take his place here. So there was a rumor that somebody was appointed as his replacement. But the Nigerian army denied that. In their way of fighting back, they published this image in Nigeria by declaring this man wanted. Because you see this guy, Jackson Ude. Jackson Ude was the one who said Lagbaja was dead. There are many other things he said before he finally said he's dead. He was also the one who said Lagbaja was very sick. Before the Nigerian army said, no, he wasn't. He's not sick. Then when he came out to say he's dead, they said, no, Lagbaja is receiving treatment for medical this, medical that. So now they now declared him wanted. They said they wanted him for planning mutiny in the military. He's planning to overthrow a democratically elected government. That's Setifnumbu. And they said he's attempted anarchy in Nigeria. All of this from Nigerian military, Nigerian army rather. But this was not signed to say, okay, who ordered this announcement, or who made this pronouncement that this guy is wanted. Today, the Nigerian army, they have announced that Tifnumbunko has announced the replacement of Lagbaja. This is Mr. Lagbaja, T.A. Lagbaja, the chief of army staff in Nigeria. He's been missing now for over a month. The last known video of Lagbaja was when he attended a supposed security meeting at the Aso Rock Villa 2 months ago. Since then, it's not been seen. So, Lagbaja, where is Lagbaja? Where is the chief of army staff? They have appointed his replacement. They said in acting capacity, they have appointed this man, Major General Olufemi Olatunbosun Oluyede, as the acting chief of army staff for Nigeria. Other information about Lagbaja is still missing. This was Lagbaja.
Note that you must work, and you must work effectively. We must see the result in Plateau. This violence must not resurge. You must stamp it and stamp it out completely once and for all. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Are you ready? Yes. Good. You have pledged your readiness. I expect this in the actions you will take in the field. I wish you the very best. My lines are open. If you have any challenge, any questions, please just send in a message. We will respond accordingly. So, all the very best. Thank you. Open orders, march! House clean. House clean. House clean. House clean.
No be by that, oh, by the way. So if the man is unwell, is human. So hiding him or hiding his health condition from the public, the man that is being paid with public fund, the public deserves to know what happened to him. But from what we heard, Lagbaja left Nigeria to go and treat prostate cancer. He has this prostate problem that just didn't go away. He's been treating that for a while, we heard, but none of this can be confirmed now since, officially. So now that the Nigerian government denied, anything that this guy denies, always end up as truth. And that's scary. Here you get now, it is scary that the Chief of Army Staff of Nigeria is is rumored to have died abroad. But they denied it. Only for them to, and in fact, they also denied that there's been a replacement until today when they announced this man as his replacement. We wish them what they wish themselves, okay? So that is just that. In reaction, for you to, in reaction to today's judgment on withholding the River State money by the Werewikes men,